bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the Speakeasy for another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with SoulJoel himself, Joel Richardson. Tonight we have a very special guest, Psychic Medium Nicole. It's a really pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she came to the open mic.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out we have mutual friends.
It's a great story.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Rob Lagasse, who's our sign guy, makes all of our signs here at SoulJoel. But then his wife has Salon Nova. Kim, obviously Kim Lagasse, and big supporters of ours. But they sent her down. But turns out we have a lot in common. So I was at the Valley Forge Casino. She was at the Valley Forge Casino. She did shows on Tuesdays. I did shows on Fridays.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we both got screwed over by the current ownership.
Oh,
Yes,
another good
definitely.
bonding moment.
Starting off high.
Yeah, that really did happen, actually.
Oh, it's priceless. I mean,
Yeah,
it
and
sucks,
I couldn't
but
remember her name, so he filled me in on all of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't have to go gender specific, but okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
PC. All right.
He says that kind of thing all the time when I say stuff.
Yeah. You still have that match and lighter, Chris? Burn it down. Yeah, we got a bridge, no longer.
Yeah, no.
All right, we're off to the races.
Here we go, baby.
But here's what happened. So we had Easter brunch, okay? And there's two different stories. And she came down, and I said, listen, check out the venue. I was like, this is where we're gonna have it. So we're gonna do it in the Social House. She's gonna have her own show here tomorrow, May 10th. Okay, and so it's still tickets available. And I said, this place is, allegedly, apparently,
Yeah.
even though I believe, allegedly, haunted. And she's like, oh, it is. And I was
Here
like,
right now.
well, good. Well, make sure you tell them. Tell them I said hello.
How do they feel about the new owner?
Yeah, they want to know when they're getting paid, actually.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. In comedy, they give the setup before you give the punchlines.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't help it. They're there.
Yeah, well, I understand. Yeah, just tell them. Get in line for a second. Okay. So she said that it was a couple that were here staying at the hotel.
Hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't know there was a hotel here, and you're like, there was no hotel. I'm like, I'm telling you, they're saying there was a hotel here.
Which I didn't know. So it turns out it's true. So
Because Spirit's always right.
okay. And
So we learned early.
so that's the first tip. They're always right.
They're always right.
Okay.
Even if you don't think they are, they're always right.
Right.
And then eventually it comes true.
So then I'm on our monthly my monthly appearance on WEEO EEU in Reading. Right. It was a joke from another show.
Okay, you meant to say-
Yeah.
Yes. And so we were talking about this, and our wedding coordinator, I told you the story, Shannon, was left for set up for a wedding, and then in the morning came back, and all the silverware for the wedding was off the table. Now, if I'm breaking into a place, I'm not going to rearrange some silverware.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, messing with me. And so they're like, well, you should ask Nicole what's happening. And then she said,
There's a bartender that's pissed off because he didn't get paid.
disgruntled employee.
Yes.
And apparently that's who's here right now?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. He's still looking for his money?
He's still looking for his money. I know. We have to talk to him, actually.
Okay, so how do we handle
let's
this?
go for it.
Yeah. He just wants to be recognized, something about his wife. He came here, I don't know, but he's all the way back from the 50s, 60s era. He was bartending here. Something that his wife died of cancer. He's really pissed off about that, and that's why he's trying to make amends to her. He's trying to find her. It's like they're lost in space, kind of. And that's what happens sometimes when somebody crosses over through death or trauma, is that they will go on the other side, unable to find their spouse or loved one, and it creates what you would call a haunting, but it's not. It's just they're lost, they're disrupted. And so until they find that match again, until they find that soul that they're looking for, which is why you have a medium or somebody that can communicate and help them get to the other side, then there will be no more disturbances. So
do I have to give this person physical money?
no, man, it was just really, he wanted that message. He just wanted that voice to be heard and everything. I can feel his energy dissipating now, and he's saying thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come out tomorrow, May 10th,
And
and get your own little
more
reading.
of this.
Yes.
How do you not want to come out after
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man?
So there's no doubt that there's a lot of people here, a lot of spirits, a
Oh
lot
my
of.
God! Every time I come here, they're flying in front of me. There's like an opera singer. There's a ballerina. There's like swimming, people swimming. I think there was a drowning here once. You know, this house is very active, and they refer to it as the Manor House. They don't refer to it as like a ballroom or a restaurant. They call it the Manor, and they want to be recognized that that's what this was. It was a place where people came and they got dressed up, they hung out, they had shows, dinners, events, ballroom. Yeah, okay, I do hear that. Thank you. But really, people lived here on the property. So I even see a couple like groundskeepers. They're kind of lurking around in the garden area. They're not bothering anybody. But if you ever like hear car alarms going off, I know that sounds, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cliched.
Like, cliche. Thank you. I'm sorry. When I go into trance and I start talking to them, I lose words sometimes. So
All
thank
good.
you for that.
No, I was joking, but that is the word you were looking for.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spot on.
Shut up, man.
No, you're good. Go do your thing. Do your thing.
Anyway, so I don't know. It's really fun to talk to them because they always have a message, and they can make your life either really fun or really boring.
I feel like this is a movie, but it's actually her life.
Right,
Where like you're watching the movie and like you hear the voices or like
I
the
can't even
animals are
imagine.
talking.
I can't even imagine. I
But
mean, it's
she
got
was
It's a
to.
lot
here.
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you turn it off or do you let it go? How do you how do you
well-
live your life? You're eating cereal in the morning.
Yeah, man, and they're talking to me.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I was younger, it was a real pain in the ass. Like I didn't have
Younger,
the
how
memory.
old?
Like
No, I mean I'm not like.
like in my 20s. Now that I'm
Oh, okay,
in my
okay.
40s, it's a little different.
Thought you're like getting on the bus for kindergarten was a real hassle.
No.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Well, how old were you when you first like started seeing stuff?
Great
or whatever?
question, Alan.
So my dad tells me stories of like being a little girl, but I really remember like 5 or 6 years old playing with, nannies and people that had crossed over, not knowing that they were dead. So, so one instance was my next door neighbor used to watch me all the time. And I was upstairs playing with her, just like so happy. She was my favorite babysitter, older, obviously. And my dad came up the steps, and we lived in Mayfair, Philadelphia at the time. So row homes, so she lived right next door.
Okay.
And my dad came up the steps, and he's like, "Nick, who are you talking to?" I'm like, "Oh, I forget her name." And, I'm talking to her, and he's like, "No, honey, she passed away, and like we're having her funeral today." Yeah, and everybody was downstairs after the wake or whatever.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then also I told my dad that his dad had passed, so it was time before cell phones, like in the 80s,
Yeah.
And,
Punchline laugh.
Yeah.
When you're
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to laugh harder at your own jokes.
No.
Deliver them and enjoy.
You're gonna teach me that. You're gonna teach me that. Oh my God. So I told my dad that his dad had passed, and I think I was like 6 or 7 at this time, and I actually got him and his brother together to tell them. And so I just said, we have to go to my Uncle Joel's house.
Not me. For everybody keeping score at home, she told us before the show, off camera, she has an Uncle Joel. She doesn't have a nickname for SoulJoel. He already comes with a nickname. Some people call me Soul Joe, but that's for another time.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh my God. You don't want to hear what they're saying in spirit.
I
Like,
would.
some people call you daddy too, but we're not bringing that up. I told you.
Living or dead?
Living. Oh my God. Never mind.
Oh, no.
Please expound.
That's just my
In the
team.
comedy business, we're going to need you to stretch.
No, That's just what my team said in spirit. I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
Woo! So anyway, I got my Uncle Joel and my dad together to tell them that their father had passed. Wow. So yeah. Yep.
So I got a crazy question. So when I've always seen like, and I've told this on the podcast, like signs on the way to making this the permanent home to SoulJoel's. And when I took over, we had the first meeting with Lower Pottsgrove, the township that we're in. It was great. It was amazing. And my sister and my mom are realtors, but my sister was standing with me in Gatsby's restaurant talking to the former owner, Chuck Galati. It was great. In walks like a light-skinned black man. He looks like Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen this man. I guarantee I never see him again. So he walks in and he goes, hey, it's a long shot. I haven't been here in 10 years. I'm from Delaware. Just dropped off a person in Pottstown. So I figured I'd swing by. Do you still have that pipe organ in the ballroom? And he's like, yeah. He goes, does George Batman still come down and play it during Easter and Mother's Day brunches? He's like, yeah. He's like, do you mind if I take a walk? My sister and I are like, all right, we'll see you later. We go in the parking lot. 2 minutes later, the former owner, Chuck, comes racing out in the parking lot. He's like, Joel, Deanna, you got to get in here. This guy's playing it. Not only is he playing it, but he's playing from Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, Put Our Magic to the Test. And I'm talking the back of the hairs on my neck are standing up. I'd always give credit to my mom's dad and my dad's mom for giving me credit for all this whole journey. They love what I was doing. They're not my parents. So the fact that I quit my day job, pursuing my dreams, doesn't matter. They loved it, But I never got credit to my mom's mom. And this guy reminded me, he even had the fat, flabby arms because my grandmother thought exercise was for horses. Normally, I don't add that to the story, but I will. Yeah. But I told him, I said, dude, you remind me of my grandmother. I said, she played the pipe organ every Sunday in church, and she was a music teacher. And he goes, that's what I do. And he goes, all right, I got to go. I'll see you later. You got to go back to Delaware. I'm like, or heaven.
Yeah, I was just going to say, those are angels.
So he leaves, goes home. I drive home, and sitting in the driveway on the fence were 2 cardinals. So what was that? What happened?
It's a sign from your relatives in spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, and angels do that. So I know we're going to get a little etheric here, but guardian angels or archangels will appear.
I wanted you to expand because I didn't want you to be like, yeah, Joel, you're right, and then we just move on. So
anyway,
this is good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we're going to go into a little detail here, Alan. So I hope you brought your ears to listen.
Oh my God, story time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So they do incarnate as humans, basically to give you a message, or from heaven, or to help people. Like, have you ever seen those stories where they get the kid, away from the moving car, or somebody will, I used to work with a lot of people who were homeless or mentally challenged or living on the street. So anyway, I would see just random people show up and help these lost souls who were looking for help, or somebody who was schizophrenic. I would see them come out of their psychosis and see an archangel channel through them. Okay, that's actually a real person.
I see him too.
I know, like, wait a minute.
And they make the door creak, and it is the weirdest thing.
Oh my God.
That was a trip.
So anyway, they are really known to come into human form to give you a message and to help you along the way. So we will be doing that as well on the show. So not only do I work with your loved ones that have crossed over, I also work with your team in spirit who are angels or archangels, guardian angels. So a lot of psychic information comes through. Past, present, future, health, love, career, finances, education, any kind of question you may have. But typically when I meet somebody, I can just go into your auric field and start pulling out information very quickly. That's what I'm really good at. And then we bring your loved ones along the way because it's just nice to talk to them.
That's so cool. Neat.
Yeah.
Now, based on like you have a person that either believes or doesn't believe, doesn't matter. Do they both have teams?
Oh yeah.
So everyone has a team no matter how they believe.
Yeah, totally. Like there's a whole orchestra of angels behind us helping humanity on Earth because, sometimes humans need a little help.
Imagine that, yeah.
Some more than others.
Yeah. We know a few of them.
Yeah. So, and I mean, without getting religious, but like, there's a higher power, right, that connects us all. Or, if you don't believe in something higher, there's an interconnectedness of universal energy between all of us. Like, I firmly believe that we're all part of the same being. I believe that everybody's connected through their heart center, and that we come onto earth to learn certain lessons, and we're given certain tools, and you can believe or not believe, and it's really it doesn't matter. Like, the angels don't care if you believe or not believe, which is great.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're going to help you out, even if you don't ask. Well, that's not true. They're striking me on that. They will help you out if your life is in danger and it is not your time to cross.
Okay.
They will help you out. Okay. If you're doing free will stuff and you say, hey, I want to learn whatever this crazy thing is, and you just go out there and do it, they're not going to stop you. They're going to let you learn your lesson, but they will step in and intercede if your life is about to be cut short and it's not supposed to.
Okay.
That's a whole nother topic.
No, it's a great topic.
It's fascinating.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Keep
Alan,
going.
your thoughts?
No, I love it. Keep going, man. This is
it your
fascinating.
No, just kidding.
No, this is fascinating.
Yep.
Keep going. This is great.
Okay, so people often ask me about different sect or religion.
That's how rumors start.
That's my team.
Chris, your thoughts? Boy, he just fidgeted in his chair. He said nothing, but his body language said howdy, howdy. All right.
Oh my God. So there's no discrimination amongst angels and beings and higher dimensional beings. Like, there's really not, people. I have friends from all different religions, and they all ask me questions about, does this angel believe this or that? They don't think like humans. They're just of a higher consciousness. They love all beings no matter what. It doesn't matter.
Say, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, like, it doesn't work that way, man. If you send 10 Hail Marys today and this person said, the F-bomb 100 times, it doesn't matter. They love us all the same. And that's what was so great about me stepping into this work, because I left a corporate job to do this. And, I feel like I was given a very strong message, and they were like, this is your time. You need to go and you need to help people. Just understand that there's all this love for them behind the veil, and this is how you access it. And nobody's judging you, and everybody loves you. So
that
is cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so let's talk about your companions from Philly.
Oh yeah.
Let's get into this. I don't even need to set it up. You can just go.
All right. So, two of my most famous guides, I guess, would be Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln.
If you're not familiar with them, they're on our they're on our currency. One's on the 5 spot, one's on the hundo.
Oh my God, I love it. So Ben is a big fan of beer. He actually loves
And
beer.
ladies.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't want to talk about France just yet.
That right. That's how he started the currency. Did
That's
you know
That's
that?
when he started a bunch of other things. He wasn't just flying kites.
No.
That's only for people that know history. Go ahead.
All right. And so he used to sleep naked. Did you know that?
Chris?
He used to sleep naked on a piece of wood.
Oh.
With the window open. I swear to God.
And that's where morning wood came from.
Oh my God.
Apparently we have to have non-comics on for this podcast to be funnier. Go ahead.
So anyway, he said that's where he got his inspiration for like a lot of inventions. He said it just kept the mind very crisp.
I mean, just keep lobbing them up.
I told you,
That's what kept his mind crisp.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, he did start our currency here. And do you know that story?
I mean, no.
Okay. Well, it's not. I don't think it's that
the Philadelphia Mint was the first mint. Like
yeah.
that?
Well, he went over to France. He borrowed a lot of money. So basically, he repatented Britain's money and brought it over here. I mean, it's not that great of a story, but anyway, they've been fighting over it ever since. So I think I don't know, Ben likes to come back from the dead and right the wrongs of what he did, because he always felt like that wasn't a true currency, that he was still making money on the backs of Britain, you know,
Right
English
on,
people.
right on.
Yeah. So
he's not thrilled with the national debt.
no, at all. So he's also part of the Masons.
That,
which are very interesting to me. I love
We'll
them.
edit this in post.
She might know some things you're not allowed to know.
How dare that woman talk about the all-male fraternity that 99% of the men that signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution
Are in. Yeah. I'm missing the joke now.
well, it's a secret society.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And you're talking about it out loud. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we're from Philly. It's all over Philadelphia.
So I'll slow the jokes down. I was just joking. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to you.
No meaning, just funny.
Yeah.
No, okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to
Plus,
stop talking.
the Masons had a convention here,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them.
or whatever. When
Yeah.
I,
They're
when
not
I
really a secret
interrupted it with
society
my laughter.
anymore.
No, and anything you didn't laugh at, that was just a fun fact. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Back to you.
That's right.
We're all just hungry.
Oh my god. So no, he's pissed off about that, because the way that the Masons I'm going to talk about it. The way that the Masons took the society, he was all for human consciousness and universal consciousness and magic and working with the elements and spirit, you know.
Is he upset about Nicolas Cage?
Oh, what, the movie? Are you upset about him? Did he play good?
Ben has had enough. They went to Washington, D.C. How dare they not base it in Philadelphia
I know.
in 1776?
Oh my god. That's so funny. All right, so now we'll talk about Abe, because he's coming. So Abraham Lincoln used to hold seances in the White House, which I found so fascinating.
Yeah, I did not know this.
So when I was first coming online to all my gifts and everything, and like understanding how they worked, because that was a whole learning curve, he took me on a trip through upstate New York, then all the way down to DC, and then back to Philly. And we just visited all these historical places, and he just made a roadmap of different wars and different addresses that he gave. And I'm not a history person, so to hear the Gettysburg Address in my head constantly was just like wild, and I could like recite it. Like, I'm a girl from Philly, okay? I have tattoos, I like to listen to rock.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Have a beer. Like, I have the Gettysburg Address in my head. Like, I gotta go on this road trip with this dude.
Wow. That I was going to say. Well, I was like, did you spiritually go on the road trip?
No, man.
Or were you on the road?
On the road.
So,
Okay.
you, Abe Franklin.
Ben Lincoln came along too.
So it was you, Abe, and a Sonata? Like, what happened?
I think I had a better car than that.
Oh, nice.
I'm just saying.
At least Dave got to ride in luxury.
Yeah.
Once again, that's why I got into producing. When you lose your only guest. Alan laughed that she was like, I had a better car. No, we went on a road trip. But we were in a Mercedes.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Because that's how the Oregon Trail works.
Yeah.
We were blazing trails in this luxury vehicle. Wait till we get out of Wawa territory and we stop at our first Sheets.
Oh yeah. You're not
They're
having
not
the
gonna
cheese.
like this
No,
car.
You don't like it at all.
Going over cobblestone in this Mercedes. No bueno. Is that honest, Abe?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, he likes luxury.
Oh shit.
Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Oh my God. Well, that's how I got into seances, right? This is not, you might turn this into a joke, I don't know. So his wife lost a couple of children, and she was trying to contact them through a medium. She's very upset. She actually had a very big bout of depression, and she was suicidal, and there's a story behind that. And so she started, I think it was actually a slave girl, believe it or not, who... And I say believe it or not because I don't like to mention that part, in history, but even though it needs to be talked about, sure. And that's who brought her these messages, and she's a part of the family now, right? So she's giving messages to Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln, and he did not believe. So what he told me is that it wasn't that he didn't believe, is that he was ambivalent. Well, ambivalent's not the right word. I guess he's just neutral, right?
Okay.
I'm sorry, because I'm listening to them too as I'm telling you.
Right on.
Were they smoking more than just tobacco in those days?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, that was the Vikings. You know about the Vikings
No.
taking mushrooms and stuff like that?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what our Vikings did. That was cool.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I found that out.
I thought it was like a 1960s thing.
No.
No. It was after
You
that.
ever heard the stone ape theory?
Before
Yeah.
that.
And they were drinking mead too. Yeah. So anyway,
Mead and
back.
shrooms.
Yeah. Back to.
It's like
Now I'm totally off track.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, it's mostly my fault.
So he would listen to the messages, but he wouldn't make his mind up whether he believed or not. So anyway, one time she came in, just like as I'm sitting with you guys, and was giving a message from spirit, and she would go into a trance. So there's different forms of mediumship, and you can go into a light trance, kind of like what I'm doing right now, where I will stop and listen, or you can go into like a full trance where you leave your body. So that's what she was doing, and the spirit that came through, which was a higher dimensional being, told him about how he just moved troops from one battlefield to the next, and nobody had known that information yet. So that's why
That got him to
believe.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so he started holding seances in the White House, and it was a big deal, and they would help him decide where to move the army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Pretty cool, huh?
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, spirit's been around for a long time. They just didn't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, they hang out with other people too? Or do they, when they find you, is that their...
I mean,
their-
other than me?
Yeah.
There's many mediums on the earth.
Right
yeah.
on.
Yeah, no, they hang out with people. Like right now, my grandmother's hanging out with my mom, and I'm like, Mom, we just talked to my grandmother. Like your mom, why? She's just hanging out, and there's some unfinished business there. So
Okay.
a lot of times that happens, and I can.
So your mom's still living?
Yes.
Your grandmother's passed?
And my grandmother's passed.
Right. Now, does like your mom, sister, like do they have powers?
So my dad does. I believe it runs in my family.
But on your dad's side.
But on my dad's side, yeah. I believe it runs in my mom's side too. They're just more Catholic, and they don't want to believe.
Oh, okay.
Like they go to me, you're still doing that funny stuff? I'm like, yeah, I kind of am. I kind of like it.
My mom says the same thing about me being a musician.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then my dad's side, like I said, they're like speaking in tongues. They're praying to the Holy Spirit. They're going in trance. I mean, they're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's side's cool too. They're just, they're a little bit more grounded. That's all.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we make a joke. Well, Alan brought this up that in comedy, and I said this is my words, but he brought it up that there's a fine line between like comics that are empaths or just sociopaths.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think anybody that's like an empath has those abilities, but they just don't turn it on?
Yes. Yeah, 1,000%. And especially comics, you brought up a good point. Most comedians are channels, and they don't realize it. So, because like Robin Williams, like the night before I came to your show, I asked the spirit of Robin Williams to be with me. And so I was in the car with my sister, and I just started laughing, and I could feel him all around me. But he was a channel. That's an example of a channel. And then Jim Carrey is another one. He's an awesome channel, like where he's playing with different dimensions and characters and allowing that energy to move through him. So, those are two examples. But yes.
What's it like hanging out with Robin Williams?
Man, I hung out with him and David Bowie.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Together? Or
No, separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would have been.
Wild duo right there, man.
Why is this girl that appears to be by herself having the most fun?
The best time, I know.
Yeah, laughing and singing along at the same time.
Yeah.
The happiest sing along.
So no, Robin Williams. I mean, he was a little depressed, but he just wanted to make people laugh. That's all he really cared about. He just wanted to make people laugh. He wanted to make the world a better place. He wanted everybody to stop like fighting and hating each other. He was real big on just crossing barriers and borders and just making everybody love each other. And I'm feeling that from him right now. And David Bowie, he came through right before his album was released or something. Like he crossed over, and then I went into trance, and I was speaking to him, and then like his album was released like after he passed or something.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it was
that. Okay.
really cool. He like that was like his final show.
Oh, that's great.
And he's like, I'm going somewhere better than here, and he like
Wow.
popped out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Now,
I
there's
met
some
him.
people. Oh, you go. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep
I
going.
met him on the beach in like Boca Raton or Florida, South Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to some like David Bowie, will he come back, or is he gone forever now to you?
No, he'll come back. Whitney Houston is another one that likes to come through.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, not necessarily to me, but to one of my girlfriends. I typically get like dead presidents and musicians.
But
I
not
guess-
just white people.
No, man.
It's the first non-white person you mentioned. I mean, they say things about Honest Abe, but
Thanks.
Ben was 100% white.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like, why did I think about that? No, I have a couple yogis in there who come through because I love yoga. So when I'm on the yoga mat,
I don't get. Please explain.
I'm just trying.
Alan and I very confused.
because I just had a picture of like me doing a downward dog, and like my team's like, yeah, I'm sure they come through.
Oh, your team is funny, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Oh, man.
right. So I always have like a show going on in my head.
God.
A lot of people chiming in, and making me laugh. So that's fun.
That is awesome. Wow. Priceless.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So yeah, where were we?
Yeah, I lost it.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Whitney Houston. So she goes, she comes through to my girlfriend, Teresa, I think maybe my girlfriend, Amy. I have a whole team of psychics and mediums that are friends of mine so a lot of them are coming to the show because they love the show, and they love that I'm back home and that I'm working, and they think it's fabulous. And so we'll have like 20 more psychic medium people showing up.
20.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
That's going to be, remember
Yeah,
that.
so we're gonna have a lot of
Get your
spirits
tickets,
in
man.
here.
It's gonna be
Entourage.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That attracts more.
It does attract more.
Okay.
It makes it higher vibe. Yeah. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
How many people are on your team?
Oh my god. Like in physical or
The physical.
you mean no, like here in this reality?
In this, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I have lots of girlfriends. But in spirit probably about 10. I have about 10 guides that work with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right
a lot
on.
of archangels, some famous people, presidents,
So
Yeah,
cool.
It is cool. Oh, okay, yeah. They're talking to me. Never mind, I'm sorry. This is what happens. It's like if you didn't know me, you would think like there's something wrong with me because I'm like talking to another person as I'm having a conversation with you. Yeah.
It's all good, man.
Don't apologize. There's a bunch of ladies that are listening right now going, Joel and Alan, shut up and let her talk.
Right, totally,
Yeah.
totally. No.
So-
Yeah, do whatever if you, talk about it, don't talk about it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So Edgar Allan Poe is another one that comes through.
That's awesome.
Tesla, Edgar Casey.
No way.
Yeah. And then I have Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Jesus, Mother Mary, God, Buddha, like, Source. So there's a lot of fun people up there. And obviously it's not just for me. That's not how spirit guides work. They work with everybody. They work with the collective. When I do channel though, or when I do a big group, I do have a certain team that will come in, and that is like Ben Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, the people I just mentioned, a lot of archangels. Yeah, they're just talking to me about you. They want to say that like your goal in this life. God, I don't know if this is too much.
No,
If it
go,
is,
go.
Can you edit? No, they just say like this incarnation wheel for you, and that's how I talk. Like when you've incarnated as a soul, is really for you to get on board with love. Like you have to allow people to love you. Like you love everybody, but this is really about allowing people to love you,
Right
and
on.
also trusting that you're not going to make the same mistakes. I don't want to be. You're not going to make the same mistakes as your father did. I don't know. Would you understand
That's
that?
fairly accurate. Yeah, there's something there.
Okay. So I say it without getting too much. And that you almost did die, and that the angels came in and like saved you many times.
Well, there is at least one I know of for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then I also see that you are gifted spiritually. You have spiritual sight. It's not just because you're whatever, just relaxing. There are things in your field that you see. You think it's like out of the corner of your eye, or it's like a something in your lens, and they're just saying that that's not true. I'm also seeing like a grandmother or mother figure. No, grandmother. Somebody coming in from your side, but on your maternal line, that's trying to either make amends or wanting to be there for you more. She feels like she should have been there for you when you were little. Do you understand that?
Yeah. No, that's my
okay.
mom. Yeah, my mom's mom. Yeah.
Yeah. And that she
apologized. She was there plenty.
Yeah, and she apologizes. But she wants to be there for you now. Like, she feels like she should have been there for you more. Like, I feel like there's nothing that would have satified this lady. So even if you're telling her like she did a good job or whatever, like she's just not. She just keeps no, I didn't. You tell him.
Right
you
on.
know what I mean? Like you get that message through. Okay.
Very cool.
So she's.
Well, it was cool on my end, Grandma.
Yeah. She's just recognizing that, and then also your family ties are strong, she's saying, only because of you. Like, you're kind of holding everybody together, and she wants you to know that she recognizes that within you. But she's also saying that it's time for you to live your life and like stop waiting. So I know you had mentioned to me about your mom, and that so she's making mention about that, but I want to go beyond that because I don't like information that I had already known. So can we talk about something else? Okay. So they're saying when you were in like grade school or like there might have been some sense of like God, I don't even want to say this, man. Like a learning disability as she's recognizing it, but like that learning was hard, but it wasn't. It was that your brain was actually remapping itself, and you're learning more from a creative aspect and not from an academic aspect. So she wants to honor that within you and know that there was nothing wrong with you. There was never anything wrong with you. That people that would try to put labels on you, she's calling bullshit on that. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay. And she just wants you to keep going, keep doing your thing, but also it's like time to live your life. Like, I need to kick you in your ass. Like, if you're not living your life the next time I see you, like, you're going to get foot up your ass.
I love it.
Yeah. like keep moving forward, keep doing the things that bring you joy, fall in love. Like, you have to.
Right on.
Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. The love thing is a big one for me. I keep that at arm's length.
Yeah, man,
sure.
You can't. She's like, I have to like now keep tabs on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
right on.
we're going to be friends. All right.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Cool. That's so cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And that's definitely stuff you can't Google or on your Facebook because you don't really even post a lot.
My digital history is that big, and
the
it's all
people on
related to my
Instagram?
band or this podcast.
You have a ton of followers, but I'm not sure what you're following because you never post anything.
Yeah, you said I have however many followers I have on Instagram, and I've never posted a single thing.
Oh, you have a fan club.
Well, it's just because I follow other people and they follow me back or whatever. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, but boy, are they duped.
There's nothing coming from this guy.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, that was really interesting, man. And there was a lot of stuff in there that's for.
Yeah, and I could keep going, but some of it's personal, so that's why I try to like buffer it a little bit because we're on a show and
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well,
But I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And,
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you doing that too.
Yeah, thanks. I love Grandma, man.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah, she's
I
really
love
a
her to
rock
death.
star.
Yeah, she was awesome. I wish I got more time with her. That's the one thing I wish, and maybe that's part of her thing.
and also true about Angela Lansbury.
That's what he calls my mom.
little inside baseball.
My mom had a little detective mission one time.
Yeah.
It became a thing.
She went undercover for me, and I never hired her.
That's right. She took it upon herself.
Yeah. I said, tell Angela Lansbury the case is over, but I deeply appreciate her loyalty. No one got murdered.
Okay, thanks.
Yet. So what are you feeling on this side of the couch?
Oh man. Really?
We're on a show. Yeah. I know, it is getting hot in here.
Yeah.
I agree, Chris.
Oh man. I just when I look at your field, I just see like actually a bunch of famous people around you in spirit, which is not I guess surprising because you're kind of bringing everybody together.
Do you see chaos?
No, it's just a lot of chatter. Like there's a lot of
Yeah,
people.
there's a lot of chatter.
Yeah, so they're just telling me this is the start. You're going to own a lot of places. That this is just one of many. So giddy up. So this is just, you're about to take off, and in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to skyrocket beyond what you could have even imagined. So do not sell yourself short, and don't think small. They want you to think big. They want you to think global. They want you to think multiple locations. They also want you to know that you're building a team, and that you need to delegate more, and that you need to allow people to take that from you and hold it for you, like different stresses that you may have. And when you don't do that, you can cause yourself to get stressed or sick or not feel good, or you hold energy, and that's not good for you. So because if you're not like a clear channel, then you cannot be clear for others. But they're saying next 5 to 10 years, man, you're just like taking off. So
You could pick up the check on the outside. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, we're done. No. That's No. The other thing that you said was interesting when we were talking offline about what I might have been in a past life.
Oh yeah.
Not trying to lead you.
Yeah. Well, there's been so many stories, so I forget. So when I first met you, and I got in my car and drive home, like I just saw you in the late 1800s. And well, I saw 2 lives. There was one life where you were like this ringmaster in a circus, like a Barnum and Bailey. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it was just your ability to connect.
Shout out to Shannon.
Your ability to connect and bring people together, but also like to be the greatest show on earth, right? Like, so that tagline, to be the greatest show on earth. And so you're cultivating and carrying that timeline or incarnation of that life into this life. So that's why past lives are so interesting, right?
Okay.
Because we can bring and pull our gifts and our know-how from other lifetimes. So
Right
we can
on.
bring it in here. So that's probably why you're a great musician, because you've been a musician before.
Right
I know
on.
I've done this before. So that's why I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was one life. And then
That's cool though.
it is really
It is
cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
You've been rocking for years, brother.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Plus, I was on acoustic guitars back in the day. Maybe.
Yeah.
And he has. Do you know he has a picture of himself dressed up as P.T. Barnum?
No.
And I
had no
I
idea.
refer to myself on social media as a modern day Barnum and Bailey.
No, you don't.
Yes,
Are
he
you
does.
serious?
Yeah.
I've been known to drop. Yeah. Name drop. Yeah. But I enjoy that. I enjoy making a spectacle out of what I've been trying to fake it till I can make it for 17 years. Yeah.
And then there was another life where I saw you in like this top hat, like a very tailored suit.
That was a
and, like,
different life
Yeah.
than the P.T. Barnum.
Yeah. Yeah, like where people would come to galas, like if you think about like the Hamptons, right? Where people are getting dressed up. Look, Gatsby's. Right, exactly. Hello. And that spirit.
A little place called Aspen. That was a Dumb and Dumber reference.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
No, it's okay. You're much smarter than us. Yeah. Alan had his problems early on. I have mine now.
Oh my God.
Just a couple of knuckleheads hanging out in a speakeasy
Yeah. Yeah.
doing a pod.
So, that's great.
So we're in the Hamptons
yeah,
now?
so something like the Gatsby's, like you know the Gatsby's, like the Great Gatsby, where they do those huge events, and like you were wearing like this I don't know, tailored suit. Yeah, there was a top hat involved. It wasn't the Barnum and Bailey life. There was so when guys wore that, what was that, like the 1920s, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw you there with like a couple ladies in like ballroom gowns, and I don't know if you were a guest or I just saw you there. It was just like a quick snapshot.
He probably put the event together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the guest list.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if that's it. Yeah, I think that was it. Yep.
That's
Fascinating.
plenty.
Man. I love this.
I like it too.
So what happens whenever like you have like a room, say of 100 people, So you start talking to them like, what can people expect tomorrow night?
Yeah, so spirit works in like sections. So and they also do this thing called piggybacking. So sections basically is like I'll give this section of the room messages, and I can go real quick and like pull out psychic information, angelic inspiration, beings that have crossed over, loved ones in spirit. But they also do this thing piggybacking, which is when they bring forth one message, it might be for like 4 or 5 people in the audience, and so we work very quickly, and we try to get to as many people as we can. In the beginning, I will help people like open up and raise their vibration, which is basically just having a good time, because spirit likes when you're having a good time. They like to laugh, they like people to have fun, they like music, because they're here too. It's not sad for them. Like, even though we have unfinished business as beings that are still here, it's not sad for them in spirit, and they just want to come out and have a good time. So
that's what people can expect to have.
Yeah,
it's not going to be something where and it might get emotional, but overall it's a joyous event.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody has fun. That's great. Everybody has fun. And you can bring questions too. Like, I encourage people to bring questions. Like, if you have a specific question that you want answered from spirit or your angel team, like, I am more than happy to do that. Like, when I do personal readings, I do that. Like, the first half, I'm just giving you information because I just want you to know that this shit is real. And then the second half, and also I want to make a connection. And then the second half, you get to ask questions. Like, have a specific question about your life, and the angels will give you exact guidance.
Okay.
Well, I have a question too, because you just said bring your questions. And in comedy, say you have 200 people, you don't focus on the 200 people that are laughing. You're focused on the one person that you can see scrolling on their phone or maybe have their arms crossed. Now, have you ever seen yourself in that? And it might be yes or no, but a person that has their arms crossed, you can tell it's just disapproval.
Yeah.
Do you ever say, like, bring a message that you know is for them to try to win them over or just prove a point?
Yeah, so that used to happen a lot. I call it stump the psychic. Like, people would try to stump me, and they would like have a specific information or person they want to talk to. First of all, I can't conjure up a spirit. Like, I just had a session in the beginning of the week, and there was like 4 spirits that came, but the specific spirit that she wanted did not show up. I cannot pull them out of a hat. They're either there or they're not, which I love, okay? And then, and my clients love that too, because I'm real honest. Like, if somebody's not there, I'm not pulling them in, okay?
Love that.
And if somebody has a specific message that they want heard, my team will do that a lot of times. They'll just say it because they're just having fun. But then sometimes they don't either. So it's like, 90% of the time they'll say it just because they just want people to have fun and let go of all the stress, right? It's like not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, I can say your brother's uncle, whatever, is Jim. It just doesn't even matter to people. It doesn't matter to the angels. But I love detailed information. That's who I am. I am a detailed person. So I ask my team to be very detailed with my clients, very detailed with the audience. And I want them to have accurate information. Like, I'm not bullshitting around because I got other stuff to do. You know what I mean? I have a great life. I'm doing this for fun because I love it. I love people, and I want to bring joy and happiness to their reality.
That's so cool.
And that's why I do it.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Anything in closing?
Nah,
I think the famous thing was cool. Like, Ben Franklin, probably the Philly connection, right? That's probably why.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, right? Yeah,
I don't know why Ben Franklin and Abe Lincoln are here.
Yeah, but I don't know why Abe Lincoln brought you in upstate New York, but here we are.
Yeah, so there's a little town. I'll tell you why. So there's a little town.
That's why we're on a podcast.
Yeah.
Love it.
So there's a little town called Lilydale up there. And
I'm familiar.
Are you familiar with Lilydale?
Nope.
All right, I'm done.
Not like saying that Albany or Binghamton or Woodstock.
Okay, so Lilydale is a small spiritual community of mediums, actually.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, so a bunch of mediums live up there. So he took me up there to find a book, and it was basically like his life story or whatever, but it was a book that had never been published. It was like kind of archived, and it was like a real famous, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even have it anymore. But anyway, so I had to go up there for a specific book because.
Oh, I thought you said you lost the story.
No,
I'm like, no, you lost the book.
I lost the book.
I'm
yeah,
like, we can't help you here.
Yeah.
Alan and I are in Pennsylvania.
So anyway, so that started my journey. So I was up in Lilydale. I met with a bunch of mediums, as I am one too. But I wanted to understand like different types of mediumship, who I was really, because like I said, I just left corporate job, and anyway, so so I started in Lilydale and then worked my way back down to DC. So when I got to DC, that's when it really started going. He took me to all these museums, and I think there's a museum of all the presidents down there.
Oh, okay.
And he would take me to each picture and give me like a story about each president, like insider information.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. He actually told me too when Donald Trump was going to get elected, and they like doing political readings and stuff like that as well.
That must have been a shocker.
Yeah, nobody believed me. They're like, "You're full of shit." I'm like,
Hey.
yeah.
The reality star.
Yeah, man.
But Lincoln was president before they moved the capital to D.C., right?
Oh, man.
Way to
don't
bring this
test my
podcast
history.
to a screeching halt.
Yeah, I'm hearing yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. We have our answer.
Well, which is funny. I mean, you went to D.C. with him, but
Yeah. Well, that's where all the
no,
know.
I
Yeah,
understand.
okay. Just to clarify.
I'm not a smart man.
Abe apparently did not stop his life in politics after death.
No.
No. Definitely has some opinions there. Yeah.
Oh, I love this, man. I could do this all night.
Do you get messages that are for you?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Oh my God! So I'll tell you a story, and you guys can.
We would love one.
Okay.
What made you laugh just now?
Because you're either gonna love it or you're gonna cut it. So all right. So I'll tell you. So my friend. Well, I told you I used to work in the drug and alcohol industry for a long time. Well, 10 years. That was a long time then. So I dealt with a lot of ODs and people leaving the body and stuff like that. And that's
Yeah.
usually, and then that's also a catalyst into my work, because I would have counseling sessions with people and their dead relatives would start coming through, and as a whole thing. So, but anyway, I was in my shower one night and I was getting showered, and then all of a sudden I felt these hands around my waist, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. There was a spirit. And then I turned around, and it was actually a friend of mine who had OD'd and, you know, came in my shower because I think he had a thing for me, obviously. And
Seems apparent.
What a bunch of mixed signals.
Don't need to be a psychic medium to read that one.
Boy, this ghost is really trying to fiddle and faddle.
so that's how I found out my friend was dead, because he came to me in the shower.
out.
Yeah, and wrapped his hands around my waist, and I like yelled at him to get the fuck out of my shower.
Wow.
And then I talked to him afterwards.
Sure.
But I was, you know, right.
But you
But
gotta
at what
get him
point-
out of the shower first, yeah.
I put some clothes on, and then we had a real talking to.
Yeah.
I gave him what for. What time did you realize he was dead?
What do you mean? What time? Like
Well, no,
like
I'm
a
saying
night at night?
The hands, no,
Oh.
the hands were on you.
Yeah, they were on me.
But
Yeah, like
you're like-
immediately.
Oh, so you realized that this was a spirit.
Yeah. Yes, man. I was in the shower. I was in Philly. I mean, I
Maybe
lived
I'm
alone.
explaining it to our listeners.
Yeah, I don't know. I lived alone. Any woman would understand when a man grabs you from behind what that feels like.
I know. 42, never been married. Live in my sister's basement. Rumors start flying. I said, I don't need a good woman. Just give me a man that knows how to wrap his hands around my waist.
My dad said to me once, if you're gay, just don't tell me until I'm dead.
So you've never been married either? So that's why they were talking
Exactly.
about love.
Dude,
Oh
that
my
was spot on.
God.
That was
Knock,
spot
knock,
on.
who's there? Hello?
Yeah, that was spot on.
Okay, cool. God, thank you for the confirmation.
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
need that too at the show. Like, I like that because then spirit, it lets me know that we're talking to the right spirit.
Right
So,
on. Right on.
yeah. Yeah, so I realized, right, I mean, any woman who's been grabbed from behind will know right away. It's like a second you understand that that's what's happening. And there was nobody there. And I was like, oh, and then I saw him etherically and then physically start to materialize. So that's the other thing too. So when spirit materializes, like when I see them in here, that takes a lot of energy. Like they only materialize when it's necessary, or they have to get a message through, or like you're not understanding something. But typically, they're in what we call like the ethers, and so you can hear them. Sometimes some mediums can smell them. Like I get that sometimes too, where I can smell a spirit. It's very interesting. And you can feel them. A lot of people just feel them. But my gifts come in where I can see them, hear them, smell, taste, like everything. So it's just all at once. But different spirits materialize differently depending on how much energy or I want to say life force, but that's not the right word because they're not, you know.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're dead. My team's funny, huh?
Your team is awesome.
I know, they're just setting it up. Here we go.
You're like, I didn't want to be funny. I'm just reading the script. And there's no script. It's just what's on this shoulder. I don't want to say what's on this shoulder because it'll bring the show to a screeching halt.
Who knew Ben Franklin and Abe Lincoln were killers?
Yeah. Invented more than currency.
Yeah, man. Comedy.
Well, we're looking forward to the show tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks so much
totally.
for coming out.
This is
So
gonna be
much
awesome.
fun.
And you want to plug your social media?
Yeah, my social media is My Angel Team. So also my website is myangelteam.com. But Instagram, My Angel Team. That's how you can get a hold of me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
For Alan Hill, this is Soul Joel. See you soon.